Hi guys, so I just wanted to have a little chit chat. Um, so in my devotion time today, I feel like the Holy Spirit led me to this particular person. Um, so you know, um, I use the YouVersion Bible app, and it puts up verses of the day, and I like to look at those and then just read the verse of the day and the scripture or that whole chapter for the verse of the day. And then also there would be different plans that will pop up that to kind of coincide with the verse of the day, for you to select to just read to further your spiritual reading and stuff. So yeah, so I was reading one that I was really enjoying. It was actually called 9 Lies Christians Believe, and it's pretty interesting. It was pretty good. It was kind of speaking on some cliches that we hear or have heard during our life. And yeah, so I was going to speak on that actually, but and I started taking notes, but then as I noticed that it said it was a part 3. So I'm like, part 3? Well, where's part 1 and 2? So I went and searched for it, and I saw that there was an initial one, and then there was a 3-part, devotional reading plan on it. But like I said, when I went to go search for it, that's when I found this particular person that was like another plan that I could pick to choose to read a devotional. And so when I first glanced at her, she kind of reminded me of Sarah Jakes, and I thought that's who it was, but then the name didn't coincide with Sarah. Her name was Tara Lynn, and she has it's like a 4-name, Tara Lynn something. I'll have it across the screen. But anyway, so she came up, and it was like she had a devotional plan, and it kind of tied into her new book that she just had gotten published. And so I sampled, because you can sample these plans before you decide to just do the devotional, because some devotionals are a 3-day devotional, a 7-day, and a week. That was a week 7. But so it was hers was a 7-day devotional, and so you could sample it to see if you wanted to continue with the devotional plan. And so I read it, and I really liked what she was saying. And so I went, because she has a book. So I went, and then it said on there something about there was a tag, a Instagram tag. So I went to Instagram to check out her page, and there it was. And I'm just seeing all these gorgeous pictures of her, and I'm like, wow, she takes a lot of pictures, and that's something that I was kind of dealing with myself, being that I used to want to be a model. However, I have no aspirations of is that what I'm trying to say? I have no intentions of trying to aspire to that now, but I think it's just still in me to just be model-esque, if that makes any sense. So yeah, so I saw all her pictures, and my first thought was, because I'm thinking about me, and I'm thinking, should she be having all those pictures, of herself, out there? But I'm noticing at the pictures, she's got little captions and stuff of how God was working on her, just doing things in her life, just little captions and stuff. It wasn't just her putting the pictures out, they were kind of, just telling a story. And so as I continued to look further, and then I saw that she had a YouTube page, I went check out her some YouTube videos, and there was one that she did that I really enjoyed, where she was talking about, are we being a hypocritical Christian? And she was also in that particular video, and I'll link it in the description box because it's a pretty good video if you guys want to take time to watch it, because she was also speaking on Kanye West with his Sunday services. And so I felt like the Holy Spirit led me to that, because it's like only God knows what's going on in our hearts, and he knows what we're dealing with. So he knows exactly what to bring before us to get our attention. And so that got my attention, and upon getting my attention and upon me seeing, okay, so she is so she was into pageantry and stuff. So naturally she would have pictures, it just kind of all came full circle, because I saw where she was doing an interview on a panel, and she was telling her story. And so she wanted to do a pageant, and she was able to do a pageant her senior year in college, I think it was. I'm not really, or was it high school? I think it was college. So anyway, so that was something she wanted to do. So she said, so God, how can I use my fashion, and she has a gift of writing, to glorify you? So these are the gifts that God had imparted in her, and now she's wanting to turn it around and use it for him. So in saying that, that's saying to me, so she has a gift for fashion, so naturally she's going to have pictures where she's showing all these beautiful fashions, which if you stroll her Instagram, she's gorgeous. And these fashions, I mean, she's like she's walking on she just got off the runway. And so, but instead of just using it for herself, she turned it around and was like, how can I use this for you, God, for your glory? And so that sparked my interest, because rather than me just ceasing from who I am in that respect, why can't I turn my sense of modeling for Christ? You know what I'm saying? Now, I did have a YouTuber mention something to me about this. Her name, Raquel Ramsey. This lady is such a powerful woman of God, and she is just so in tune with different things, and she's just a blessing on YouTube. And so when she said that, it made so much sense. But at the time, I was thinking that I wasn't in a good enough position to handle that well. It was like, okay, what she gave me was good, but it was like I had to grow a little bit more. God had to allow me to see a little bit more and stuff for me to now bring it all full circle and get the full synopsis of what he really is trying to tell me. And so it's like, rather than just ceasing from, showing pictures from time to time, I can show pictures, but I can show pictures in the sense that I'm glorifying God. Now, I'm not trying to justify this for myself just to put me out there, but I think the thing of it is for me, I used to allow the enemy to stop me from being freely who God has, called me to be. So I would just, say, no, I'm just not going to do it. I'm just not going to do it. And I think that was a way that the enemy was shutting my voice down and my gift, because, even with this YouTube channel, I took a while. My husband had been telling me, he said, you should do a YouTube channel. And I never, would do it because I was too afraid of the voices that I was allowing myself to hear from the enemy. I was being my own worst enemy, and I was already thinking how other people were going to perceive me and whatnot. And so I had to get to a place where I could, overcome that. And so slowly I got on YouTube and, started doing videos and saw how comfortable I was with it. I mean, it's almost a natural. And I'm not really much of a talker. I know that sounds funny to hear because, I mean, it seems like my videos are long and I can talk a lot. But maybe I am when it comes to, talking about God or what I'm interested in. And so it's like I shouldn't have had to just shut down completely, but with a balance, God could still use what he already gifted me with, but I was allowing the enemy to just shut me down entirely. And so seeing this young lady and her, these pictures on Instagram, and they're tasteful pictures, and that she can like still represent Christ, that was inspiring to me, because I know a lot of time, as believers, as young ladies, sometimes, we're probably thinking we've got to be dressed like, head to toe where you can't see nothing. And I'm not saying flash skin, or I'm not saying to be provocative in that sense either. But what I'm saying is you can still be beautiful because God created us beautiful. We are fearfully and wonderfully made. So why should we have to shut that down? Why can't we express that and bring it all back to God, bringing him the glory for what he has done, for what he is doing? And so that's basically what I felt like was going on today. So yesterday I did a video and I was talking about I was doing a get ready with me, even though I wasn't going anywhere. And so I did that video just because, I kind of was inspired to do a get ready with me, because I had thought about doing it one Sunday morning before going to church, just because I just wanted to do it. I've seen some get ready with me videos of other women do it, and I don't per se just wanted to do it because I saw other women do it, but I just had a desire to do my makeup on camera, something simple. And I think the reason why I wanted to do it also was because it was simple, because I expressed in that video I don't know how to contour or anything like that, but I wanted to let anyone out there that does their own makeup, that you don't have to know how to do all that stuff to come on camera. And basically what I'm saying is I don't want anything to stop anybody from doing what God has put on your heart to do. I don't want you to feel like inadequate. Like when he was telling Moses he was going to have him go talk to Pharaoh, and then Moses is bringing up his speech where he can't talk, yada, yada, yada. Well, I don't mean to say yada, yada, yada to the scriptures, but you know what that's saying, and then Moses was, trying to get out of this. So this is basically how we do when God has gifted us with stuff. We minimize those gifts because we feel like we're either looking at how somebody else is doing it and we can't meet their standard, and so we like, well, I'm not gonna do it because I can't do this or I can't do that. Well, so in that video that I did, I didn't know. I mean, I could say I didn't know what I was doing, but what I'm saying is, to like some of the makeup gurus out there, if they saw that video, they'd probably be in horror. Like, what is she doing? She didn't put any moisturizer on her face. She didn't put any primer. What the heck was she doing with them eyebrows? And but I'm like, no, I'm trying to learn to just do me and be happy in doing me, because Christ accepts me for me and I'm free in him, so therefore I'm free to be me. Now that doesn't mean I do what I want to do. I'm not saying that in that respect. I'm just saying, as God has accepted the gifts, as he has given me the gifts, then I'm free to use those gifts and use them for his glory. Now, how was I using that video I did yesterday to get ready with me for his glory? Well, it was just a matter of me. It was healing therapy for me. And so with that healing therapy, I felt like I could help someone else out there that maybe was feeling like, oh, I could never do that. Yes, you can. You can. So I don't want us to keep thinking what we can never do. We can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. And so that's what, I'm trying to get to a point where I just stop listening. I'm my own worst enemy. We have to stop being our own worst enemy. And we have to stop, prejudging of how, or pre-thinking, having pre-thoughts of how we're thinking other people are going to perceive us. And even if that's how they're perceiving us, it shouldn't matter. Because as long as we're operating in the gifts that God has given us and we're using it for his glory, then that's all we should be concerned about. We just need to be obedient to the call on our lives that God has placed on our lives. So, we're not gonna be able to please everybody. So we've got to first get that mindset. Some people are gonna not like what we do, so we got to understand that. And then you just got to go. You got to be able to take the good with the bad. We've got to be able to be a strong Christian, and if someone says something negative, we can either use it to help us, or we just dust dust it off, shake it off, and just keep moving. But we cannot continue to allow the enemy to whisper lies to us anymore and telling us we'll never be good enough. We don't add up we can't meet the expectations, or whatever. We just have to stop doing that. And so, like I said, God knows how to get our attention. He knows how to humble us. And I'm just so thankful that he loves us so much that he does things like he did for me today to help me to see. And he knew the avenue, the way to come at me to get my attention. And that is so awesome. I mean, it is just so awesome. Because I would have never expected her to show up in the daily Bible devotional plans. But, that's where I was at. So that's where God allowed me to see, and he knew it was sparked by interest because of where it was at. And so now I've seen it, and I got a chance to look at it, and then upon looking at it, it drew me even further because of what I saw. And then it just turned into not a ministry, it just turned into a teaching moment for me, a teaching moment of Christ, of God, or in a moment of him showing me that he is in tune to what I desire. He is in tune to my thoughts. So, don't ever think that God it does not know what's going on with you. He knows. And if we're attentive to what he's doing, then we'll be able to see what he's trying to show us. So, yeah, I hope this video is making sense to you guys. Yeah, I hope it's making sense. But yeah, I'm going to link the video that I saw about, are we being hypocritical Christians? And yeah, so you can check out her video. But yeah, I guess that's all I wanted to say. I don't want to make the video too long, but I thank you guys for tuning in and watching this video. And yeah, I guess I will see you all in my next one. You guys have a good night and be blessed. Keep God first.